10 ways to help your teen build their credit. Hey, I'm Rebecca. Thanks for joining me on the Mamalorian Way and 30 Days of Money Tips. So, money fans, let's talk about kids and money. We have in our household 2 teenage boys, and we are trying to set them on their good financial path and start building credit. So I've investigated some ways that we can help them start building credit from zero. First way is get a job, kids. This may seem kind of like a no-brainer, but if your kid's not willing to get a job, they're not going to be up there building their credit or even having the means to pay off a credit card. Not only that, your credit isn't just your credit score. That score that you see, it's like, a 6, 7, 800 number. You also have something called a credit report, and that's what banks really look at when they're looking to give you like a mortgage loan, and it has your employment history on it. So once you start building some employment history, it starts showing up on your credit report, and that looks good because it's signaling to lenders that you have a way to pay off your bills. Number 1, kids, get a job. Number 2 is make sure their credit is their own. Right now, there's so much identity theft, and kids with no credit, they have a social security number, but they have no credit, are kind of like ripe for the picking for identity thieves. Because they don't have credit, they're kind of like virgin snow. So check your teen's credit score and make sure no one else is using it. Number 3, you can make them an authorized user on your credit card. When you make them an authorized user, you're still responsible for the bills. You can give them a card. You can set the credit limit for them, and they can just get used to having a card and probably seeing, because you're going to be showing them how much they're spending, or if they spend up to a limit, you're like, you spent your limit in the first 5 days, so you don't get any more for the month. I'd also say, because they have a job, they should pay for their part of the credit card. Now, they're kind of riding on the back of your good credit, but it's a nice way to get used to using a credit card and paying it in full. Oh, I like this one. Number 4, have your teen, and when I say teen, they could be 20, 21 too, but 18 and up, have your teen pay for their utility bills, probably starting with their phone bill. On-time payments for utilities and phones may not impact your credit score. Delinquencies will. They may show up. So it's a way to start building credit by not having bad credit. However, Experian, which is one of the credit reporting agencies, has a free program called Experian Boost, I believe. And if you've been paying your utilities and paying your phone bill, you can link that to your credit and get some people like 13 points boost in your credit score just by paying your phone bill and your utility bills. Number 5, they could get what's called a secured credit card. So a secured credit card is a credit card that has a line of credit like a regular credit card, which is secured up to the limit of a security deposit. So say you put a security deposit down on $300, well, you may have a spending limit of $300 until you pay that off. I think this is a great way because there's a cap on the spending. Your teen from their job has already put in that $300 that is securing their credit card. So they have money in the game invested, and then they also have a cap on their spending that they need to learn how to control it. It's also a way you can get a credit card without having any credit. Number 6, this seems like common sense, but establish good credit by paying your bills in full, paying your bills on time, and hopefully keeping a low balance on your credit card. Just kind of common sense, and that does build credit. Number 7, this is kind of along with the credit report. Keep their permanent address your home address. So they have one address, and particularly if they're in college, or like I moved around, like every time my lease was up, I moved to a new apartment because I figured that's just what you did. But when you move around a lot, that starts putting up some flags to credit agencies that you're not really stable. So if they keep your home address as their address and they're still moving around a lot, like if they're in college, it just makes them look more stable, which again, boosts you up in the eyes of lenders and credit card companies and people who are looking at your credit. Number 8, I like this one and I didn't know about it. Okay, so there is this loan. It's called a credit builder loan, and it's kind of like a reverse loan. So when you have a loan, normally you go in, take a loan. So you take a loan out for $1,000. You get the money and then you pay it back. In a credit building loan, and these exist just to have some payment history because credit scores are built on payment history, is you say you want a loan for $1,000. Well, you get to make monthly payments of say like $250 a month for 4 months, $1,000, then you get the money. So kind of like putting it into a savings account, but in a savings account, you're not getting credit for paying payments on time. Like we have our oldest son wants to start saving up to move into an apartment. I think we could do this for him. He says, I want to save up $500 a month. Well, say he needs $2,000 to put a security deposit and move out. So he could get a credit building loan for $2,000, put his $500 a month in. After 4 months, he has the money for the apartment deposit, and he's gotten a little bit of credit. All right, this one may be controversial. Some people say co-sign on a credit card. I don't think that's a great idea because credit cards can get wildly out of hand. But what if you co-sign on a car loan? So your child probably needs a car, probably. And it doesn't have to be, a real expensive car or anything. But say they got a car, you co-signed with them. They made payments on the car loan. Eventually, because they've got some skin in the game, they will own the car. And you could also put in a stipulation, if they don't pay the payments, you're going to repossess the car. But I kind of think that's better than just a random credit card cosign because it's something specific, it's something that they're working for, and it's something that they need to get to their job. And then number 10, not so sexy or whatever, retail credit cards. So these are a lot easier to get than regular credit cards like a Lowe's or a Home Depot. And I would think something like that is like, how are you going to overspend at Home Depot as a 20-year-old? You might totally, but they're easier to get. They still have the high interest, but again, it's an act of making small purchases and paying them down. Retail credit cards. All right, so that's 10 ways you can help your teen and young adult start building their credit now. So I'm Rebecca. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next 30 Days of Money Tips video.